feeling when you stare at a job description for like 10 minutes and your brain's just running in circles. Like, okay, this one looks possible. SQL dashboards, Excel, I could probably figure that out. Then you scroll down and that's when you see 3 years of experience, advanced communication skills, and Python, R, Tableau, Power BI, and probably telepathy there. You just sit there thinking, okay, maybe not this one. I'll find another one that just fits a lot better. So you close the tab, tell yourself, I'll come back to it later. But you don't. That was me. Over and over again. I probably stared at 20 different job posts like that before I even applied to one. And here's a part that still messes with me the most. The one that I almost skipped are the offers that I got. So if you've ever looked at the job description and thought, they're never gonna pick me. Yeah, same. But I clicked apply anyway. And that moment changed everything. Let me tell you what really happened. Look, this isn't a top 10 to land your dream job, no magic advice. Just one story from someone who was stuck, unsure, tired, and convinced that they were behind. I'm not gonna pretend like I had some huge master plan before my interviews. I was Googling what joints meant and how they worked 2 weeks before my very first interview. I was scared of job applications, scared of LinkedIn, scared to post projects because I thought people would just laugh at them. So if that's you, great. You're not weird, you're just early. And this video is me walking you through how I got from that to clicking apply, to getting hired, to not quitting. Even though I still didn't feel ready. I'm not better than you, I just stuck with it long enough and I want to show you what it looked like. Not polished, not perfect, just real. I didn't grow up writing code. I wasn't the person building websites at 12. In fact, I didn't even know what Python was until I was in a completely unrelated job at graphic designing. I was just doing my work like, a filler. And the type, just staying hard enough. Just enough to stay employed, but not enough to care. And at some point, I started looking at ways to make my job easier. I opened Excel, then I saw that Excel had functions. Then I found a YouTube video on how to build a dashboard. So I followed along, and it broke. So I tried again, and again, and again. And then it worked. I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Control. Like, I could build something, not just copy someone else. Not wait for someone to promote me. Just sit down, do the work, and make something that didn't exist before. That was the spark. And after that, I started looking into this thing called data analytics. And let me be honest, half the words just absolutely confused me. I didn't know what an ETL pipeline was. I didn't know the difference between BI and DS. I didn't know what mattered and what didn't. But I knew I like something. I like the feeling of cleaning data and showing something useful. That feeling was enough to keep me going. So I went home after work, opened up my laptop, and started doing stuff I didn't know how to do. That's how it all started. Let me tell you, learning data on your own is not glamorous at all. People make it look like it's the easiest thing in the world, but you're gonna see a post on it that says build this in 3 hours. You learn so much and I'm super grateful. And meanwhile, I was out there spending days trying to figure out why my code couldn't run. And I remember there was this one time I copied a tutorial line by line and it still didn't work. Turns out I copied a curly bracket and forgot to remove the additional one. That was a mistake that wasted 4 hours of my life. But this stuff, it doesn't show up on LinkedIn. You don't see the 20 tabs open. You don't see the late nights where your brain is too tired to keep going, but you try anyway. I wasn't working full-time in data. I was at a totally different job, sitting down, and I come home, eat something really quick, and sit down, try to focus. And most nights, I just felt dumb. But I told myself, if I kept going, if I kept doing this, even badly, I'll get better. So I kept going. Eventually, I tried to do a project that I could share. I wanted to post something, maybe on GitHub, maybe just on LinkedIn. So I found this data set on coffee places by country. I cleaned it up, did a few charts in Google Sheets, wrote a few paragraphs explaining what I found. And for the first time, I felt proud. It wasn't big, it wasn't fancy, but It was mine. Then I made the mistake of comparing it to someone else's post, someone else's project, or whatever they had to share. Their project had custom visuals, dashboards, even a whole website. They were talking about regressions and models I didn't even understand yet. And suddenly, my little coffee project felt embarrassing. So I deleted the post, never reshared it, and that night I asked myself, are you even cut out for data? But here's the thing I learned later. Everyone's first project is bad. And the people who get good at it, they just keep building anyway. I didn't know that yet, but I just kept going. Quietly, off the internet, just me and my Google Sheets. And after a few months of that, I started checking job boards just to see what was out there. At first, it felt exciting. Then it got a little depressing. I remember typing entry-level data analyst and the first result would say expecting 2 to 3 years of experience. I'd see strong communication skills, Excel, SQL, Python, Tableau, Power BI, experience working with stakeholders, and be like, cool, so I kind of already need to have a job to qualify to this job. It's kind of ironic, isn't it? So I just scroll down, save a few listings, but never apply. I'd say I'll just learn a bit more, just improve myself, keep getting better. But here's what was really happening. I was scared. I was scared of hearing no, scared of being exposed, scared of looking stupid. So I kept learning instead of applying. Not because I loved learning, which I do, but because it felt safer than being rejected. That went on for weeks and weeks and maybe months until one day something just snapped. I was sitting at my desk late at night. It was quiet. I had one tab open with a job listing. It didn't look too bad. SQL, Tableau, Excel, a few dashboards, and no mention of advanced machine learning, just some basic business reporting work. And for once, I thought maybe I can actually do this. So I opened my resume, rewrote it from scratch, added my little coffee project, cleaned it up a bit, took way too long picking the right font, spacing, formatting, which I'm still kind of proud of, to be honest. And then I started writing the cover letter that kind of broke me. Hated it. I still hate that, to be honest. Every line felt like I was lying. Because, I know, you've been there. I must have rewritten that letter at least 5 times. Then I just sat there, staring at the submit button. My mouse hovered over it. My hand was literally shaking, and then I clicked. Just like that. I didn't feel brave. I didn't feel ready. I just felt sick. Does that make sense? So I closed my laptop and just walked away because I didn't want to be near it when the rejection email came. I was not expecting them to reply. That might sound weird, but seriously, I was already planning to move on. I assumed it'd be just, silence, just like anyone else. But a couple of days later, ding, I got an email with the subject, interview request, junior data analyst role, which was quite... My chest just got really tight. Not excitement, just fear. I thought they must have made a mistake. Maybe they didn't read the resume all the way. What if they asked me something I completely blank on? I just clicked on the email and stared at it for like 10 minutes and I almost didn't reply. But then I typed, thank you, I'd love to speak, and just hit send. Then, yeah, that's where it all started. I started spiraling. I told myself, you got 4 days to become an expert in SQL. I watched a whole lot of tutorials, practiced questions, tried mock interviews in my head. It was a full-on stress fest. I even googled, what if you bomb a data interview? Not proud of it, but that was my headspace. So the day comes and I dress super formal, but not too formal. But I log into the call about 5 to 10 minutes earlier, sitting there just chilling with my heart racing, doing my deep breathing exercise, and I'm preparing like I'm prepping for a boxing match. Then my interview joins. Super normal person, super chill. He just said hi and makes a little joke about Zoom and just starts with, tell me about yourself. And everything in me just froze. But I just started talking. I just kept it really simple. I'm self-taught. I've been learning outside of work. I've built a few projects and I really enjoy working with data and solving business problems. I told him about my little coffee project. I told him about messing up my joins and fixing them. I didn't want to try to sound smart. I just said the truth. He then asked me, how do you handle missing data? What do you do if stakeholders don't trust your report? What tools are you most comfortable with? And I just gave him honest answers. When I didn't know something, I said, I haven't worked with that yet, but I'm still learning and I can get there. He then nodded, took notes. At the end of the interview, he said, thanks, this was a great chat. I closed my laptop and felt not too great. I kept thinking about all the things that I didn't say, all the questions I should have answered better. I just thought I blew it. A few days go by, I'm moving on, already halfway through another tutorial, then another email comes in saying that I got the job offer for the junior data analyst role. I just froze again. I read it 3 times, then I laughed out loud because I just didn't believe it. My first thought wasn't, yes, it was, wait, do they know who they just hired? I said yes, obviously. But for the first few days, I kept expecting a second email like, sorry, it was the wrong person, and imposter syndrome just hit me really hard, you know. I was just absolutely scared to send messages. I reread every email 5 times before hitting send. I checked every dashboard like my job depended on it. Every time someone said, can I ask you for something? I braced for, hey, we need to talk about your performance. But that just never came. Over the next few weeks, something happened. Just the little moments added up. I built a dashboard. It worked. Someone actually used it in their meeting. I helped a teammate of mine fix their bugs in Excel. A manager thanked me for explaining something in simple terms. And slowly, those little wins, they added up. The fear didn't vanish, but it just got quieter. And the voice in my head, the one that said I didn't belong here, it didn't really go away, but I stopped giving it the mic. You don't really need to know everything. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to check every box. You just need to take the next step, even if your hands are shaking. If I had to start today, I'd keep it simple. Write about what you did, post it somewhere, ask dumb questions. They're usually the best ones, and apply before you feel ready. That's it. Don't wait to be confident, just move forward while you're still scared. That's how most people do it anyway. They don't just post that part. Because imposter syndrome is very real. But it doesn't mean you're broken. It means you care. It means you want to be good. It means you're learning. And if you're feeling fake right now, you're not. Trust me on that. You're just a part of a story where most people give up. But you're not going to give up. Keep going. And if you made it this far, drop a comment that says, I'm applying anyway. That's it. Doesn't matter where you're at. Just say it. I'll reply. You got this.